Let's move on to some other news this morning. The Palestine Solidarity Alliance holding a rally. It's calling for an end to the killing of civilians in Gaza. A number of speakers are expected to address the ongoing violence between Israel and the Palestinian armed group Hamas since violence broke out exactly a week ago. Now, Israel launched a retaliatory offensive after Hamas rockets struck civilians, killing close to 2,000 of them last Saturday. Over 2,000 people have been killed in the Gaza Strip as Israel continues to launch rockets there. Newzroom Afrika's Gaza Sokoto is live for us in Lenasia with more on this story. Gaza, tell us more about the people who we're expecting to see out there this morning.
Yes, Tembekile, hundreds who have walked in Lenasia started this morning at 9 o'clock and now they're here at the finish line of that walk. Members of the PSA, as also members, community members of Lenasia who stand in solidarity with the lives lost in Gaza. As you can imagine, Tembekile, emotions are high here. As you can hear people chanting behind me here, free, free Palestine, and that's been the message throughout the morning. But to get more about this march and its significance, I do have with me a senior member of the PSA, Shireen. Thank you so much for your time. Just tell me about this walk and the significance of it as you stand in solidarity with those who've lost their lives in this war.
To start off, let me say that this is the 14th annual Walk for Freedom. It's inspired by Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom. And the purpose of the walk over the years was to highlight the plight of the people of Palestine. Today is of special significance for us as the PSA and also as activists in general. We care about human rights and we need to speak about the ethnic cleansing and the atrocities that is happening in full view. Apartheid Israel wants to normalize ethnic cleansing and the devastation that is happening in Gaza. So we're saying as a PSA, this is not a war against Hamas. This is a war against the people of Palestine. It's a war against humanity. And by trying to normalize, they speak with a forked tongue. They want to show that they believe in human rights, but they don't. And the world is seeing and they don't care. The walk is of special significance for us today. It was planned early in the year as part of our annual calendar. Little did we know that it would coincide with the plight of the people in Gaza. And people of Lenasia and surrounding areas have come out in their numbers to show their support for people of Palestine and especially for the people of Gaza.
Now, ma'am, we know that there's been casualties on both sides. And, as you rightly say, your march is about the lives lost in Palestine, in Gaza. But we know that there's been lives lost as well in Israel. What do you say about these differing views as it relates to the politics of the place, but also that lives have been lost on both sides?
Yes, we deplore the atrocities and the loss of lives. But let's remember that the victim here are the Palestinian people. Apartheid Israel is on the wrong side of history. They are the occupiers. So you cannot equate both sides as that every group in the world has a right to resist. And the Hamas is showing their right to resist against atrocities, against the occupation. And no matter how much Israel and the media, the international media and people support it as a struggle between two people, it's not a struggle against two people. It's about the atrocities that has been taking place, the ethnic cleansing that has taken place, and it's not a conflict. It's a massacre. It's ethnic cleansing. And the media, it's time that you show that this is nothing but ethnic cleansing against a people that has no rights, that has no weapons, and they have a right to resist, because the right to resist is the right to exist.
And just a last one, ma'am, your sentiments around the position of South Africa in relation to this into the war. We heard from President Cyril Ramaphosa very firmly standing with the people of Palestine. Your sentiments around how South Africa has reacted?
The South African civil society are all on the side of the right side of history. We've been through apartheid. We know what it is like to be living under apartheid regime. To the South African government, we're quite disappointed because right now they haven't expelled apartheid Israel from their country. So let's not speak with forked tongue. We say we support Palestine, but we still allow Palestine embassy to exist in South Africa. Especially the apartheid government of South Africa, the anti-apartheid movement of South Africa should make sure that Israel gets expelled from South Africa.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Tembekile, you heard it there from Sharina, senior member of PSA, expressing her sentiments there, standing quite clearly with the lives lost in Gaza. And so from here on, we will be hearing from a number of speakers outlining the significance of today, but also reflecting on the dire effects and the consequences that this war is having.
Katla in Lenasia, thank you very much for that update, Katla.